This here is my tool bag. I use it every day for work. I have quite a bit of tools in there. I just put it on the scale. I think it's 38 point something pounds what it rings in at. This is the Klein Tradesman V2, I believe, because it has the hard shell up top here. I've set up in my kitchen because I live in an apartment. Got some nice studio lighting here. I want to go over a couple of tools and show you what I use every day while being a yacht technician, electrician, hydraulic guy, air conditioner guy, you know, do whatever. So as you can see right away, I've got some stuff hanging off my backpack. Very important when you work on nice boats, you want to have something to lay down to put all your shit on. So I carry around this nice microfiber towel, and there's a washcloth in there. I'll show you that later when I bring all my tools out. You'll see it's real nice. I mean, it's really professional. You want to put your backpack down on a nice hardwood floor. I've got this right away. It's good quality, the actual towels are. I'll show that later. This is a Klein 50-foot metal fish tape. As you can see, it's no longer metal. I recommend any of you guys that are electricians that are using this metal fish tape, any metal fish tape, to get rid of them. They're dangerous. All it takes is to get caught up in a hot wire. You don't know it's there. You know, depending, if you're a commercial guy, you may not have to worry about it. You know what's in your pipes and everything. But when I'm working on boats, it's a rat nest for the entire vessel. So unless I shut the whole boat down to run a fish, I pretty much risk getting electrocuted. So what I've done here anyways is I bought a China.com off eBay, a fish tape. It was like a 100-footer or something, fiberglass, and I took out the metal, and I think I've got about 22 foot or so of fiberglass in here. Works out pretty well. Hasn't broken on me yet, so that's good. On the side, that's where you're going to keep your tapes. Carry black, because obviously you need black. Nice Super 33, of course. Some Teflon tape. I like the wide, it's good. And white tape, also working on nice boats. The black tape actually will get you in trouble for smearing black all over stuff. So sometimes you just got to kind of wrap your pools in white, but also to have for labeling. It's good. A front pocket. Nice zipper on these bags. Front pocket. I carry this nice set. I'll show some of these tools, all my tools later on. Kind of give an overview of the bag, how I kind of got things set up. Blue tape. Blue tape is excellent for if you're drilling something, cutting something, like in a dash. It helps protect the surface. Also, you can use it to make like a catch underneath something. So if you're going to drill a hole through this cabinet, you could put some blue tape as like a protector, so the shavings will get on the blue tape. You peel the tape off nice, close it up, throw it right in the trash. So that's good. Phase tape, got some down here. Really don't use phase tape for what I used to in the oil to like actually mark conductors. This is more when I'm doing something with a lot of controls, a lot of DC stuff, and I just need to make some quick labels. I can use some phase tape. This is some spray tef, which is obviously destroyed. Butane fuel, and you may wonder what that's for. Well, we'll go here. This by far is the best butane torch on the market. I've tried several. A lot of people in my company like to use the pen, but I'll show you why later in the video all about this thing. And in here, you got to keep some super glue for some oh shit moments, some thread locker, let's see. Oh, this stuff, I never used this before I started working on boats. This is called Tef Gel, and it's anti-corrosion. So you put this on like stainless steel bolts when you screw it into aluminum. Helps for corrosion. The only other thing in here that's pretty nice that I like is this stuff, which I've never used before. This is electromagnetic paper. So if you put this on, so you can see a little better, if you put this on, like, let's say a motor, but more importantly like an electric solenoid, you can see on here it turns black like an Etch-a-Sketch, that there's electromagnetic waves there. This is really good for solenoids, like I said. So that's pretty much what's in here. Some stickers for work and a little Scotch pad. Nice, you know, brush something up, polish. That's mainly in there. Then we're going to go into the big pocket. As you can see, I don't carry a tape measure. It falls off, and it's kind of a hassle when you're crawling around on the boat. It gets knocked off. Also on this side, you see these two pockets are empty. It's because every time I put something in there, it falls out. So that's for the big grand opening here. Like I said, I'm going to pull out all the tools and I'll show you it all spread out. I just want to show you kind of how the bag's laid out. So I can turn it. Well, I guess I'll pick one side up at a time here. Sorry. So this is this side of the bag. A lot of screwdrivers. Pretty full. You see it's got a couple pouches here, big pouch here, and two overlap pouches, and then all these little pockets up here. And I'll turn the bag around and we can take a peek at the other side. So when I move this stuff out of the way, so this side of the bag, it also has some pouches. It's got a pouch here, pouch here, pouch here, pouch here, here, here. If you notice, you fill up one pouch. The other pouch doesn't give you much space, so you pretty much got to pick and choose how you want to fill it up. You have this bit holders right here. Never used it. No need. I mostly use these for little tweaker screwdrivers. I keep some other ones in the back here. In the very back, you'll notice you have slots for drivers, and also like the elastics back here for the drivers. I used to actually run these through both in a way, but there's no need, so I have no need for that back there. Also important is the middle of the bag. You can see it's pretty good, pretty wide. I would say there's probably at least 3 inches of complete openness down here. So it's good to stuff some stuff, like I stuff a square, this kind of square in there. Of course, several bags of zip ties because I lend it to my guys and they don't give them back. Also a hammer, fits nice, fits down in there. And then the multimeter fits right in there, so I can close it all up and it looks good. So next I'm gonna pull out all the tools and show you around. Here we are. This is the majority of my tools, my hand tools that are in my backpack. As you can also see, the nice cloth. It's thin, nice, lightweight material. They've got a bunch of different colors, makes you look real professional, promise. Also over here, got a meter, hammer, that torch I'll tell you more about. So I'll just kind of quickly go through these tools, what I think about them, tell you what kind of issues I've had, tell you why I like some of these, why I use them. But I'm not going to spend too much time on any tool in particular. If you want to look at, a tool, feel free to pause the video, throw it up on Google, throw it on another YouTube search, and you can look at them. So, starting off with some screwdrivers, basic Craftsman. It's like a foot long probably, #1 screwdriver. Useful. I own a set of the Milwaukee full shank beater screwdrivers. This is the latest generation, I believe, these two here. I also have the old generation flathead beater. I'm missing the Phillips, which is why I actually got the second set. But it's also nice to have 2 flatheads. Really useful when you need to pry stuff apart, one screwdriver at a time. For a stubby, I use the Klein multi-stubby. It's been pretty good. No issues with that thing. I think it's 4 bits. This screwdriver here is the bomb. This is the Wiha 26-in-1. I purchased the everything kit so I can pick what bits came in here and not just what they recommend. I mean, I've got the torque set pretty much at the bottom. At the top, I've got Phillips, flatheads, and metric Allen keys, or hex bits. This thing's sweet, folds right in, top pivots in your palm. It's locking with the collar. This pivots in your hand too. Excellent screwdriver to own. As for my tweaker drivers, I've got the Klein multi. This is really my backup. My main ones are here. These are the nice Wiha Pico drive or Pico finish. I like them because they have this hexagonal type shape up here. It really lets you get some nice turning action when you need to. The palm support really feels like it's on a nice bearing in your palm. Really, really smooth action. And it's Wiha tools. I mean, that's the same with this one. German made, excellent tools, all of theirs. You'll see I have a few German made tools. This is a Husky 4-way box wrench. I like this one in particular because there's levers on both sides. That's a big thing for me. I really need to swap this out for the metric one. I've had this since my commercial electric days. Our metric one would be real nice. I have a whisk box cutter. I had the Milwaukee Fastback. The blade would actually pop out of that while cutting, so I got rid of that. Went to this one. I like the box cutters that fold and that also have storage. This thing pops up and it fits 2 blades in there. Really good. But the reason why I went for this brand too is because these whiz shears are like tin snips. You really cut some metal with this, no problem. Excellent pair of scissors. Highly recommend. Really cheap. I think I was paying $7 for these, and I think they went up to 11. I've had these for a few years now, probably 3. I hope they never stop making that. I'll buy that shear for the rest of my life if they don't make something better. I got a pair of Klein little needle nose, nothing special. Pair of Knipex dikes. These are really great. No issues with that. No chipping or anything. Knipex, my favorite brand. A really kind of garbage pair, honestly, of needle nose. These are one of the first tools I ever bought. I need a pair of needle nose, and this is what I've got. I don't recommend them. Nothing special about them. A nice pair of flush cuts. These are Knipex brand. Something that I actually don't like about them is that they don't open more than that. So I like for them to be able to open more. That is a good complaint. But if you don't own a pair of flush cuts, please buy some flush cuts and cut your zip tie tags with this. That way you don't leave razor blades and get all cut up and stuff when you're crawling or reaching for something in like a panel or whatever. Flush cuts are a real professional tool. You should use them. One of my first tools I ever bought, a pair of Klein Lymans. It's got the crimper. Excellent, no issues with these. Klein rabbit cutters or lobster calls. I believe these are the Journeyman series. Great, no issues with those. Klein insulated and non-insulated crimper. no problems. These are a peculiar pair of strippers. I actually really recommend these. They're a nice heavy pair. Like if you're used to using tools, you work, in a more strenuous labor, like you're not some kind of lab rat that sits in there and strips little 20 gauge wires and solders them on. But if you're like actually in the field and you do. Also over here, these are my Klein strippers. These are heavy duty. These are real nice. If you actually work in the field, you're not some lab rat that strips 20 gauge wire and uses it to solder on a board or something. But if you're in the field installing electrical stuff, this is an excellent pair of strippers. The only downside I have to this one, I wish it had one more hole for some smaller wire. I don't know what gauge this goes down to, but makes it hard for stripping like maybe Cat 5 wire, really small fine wire. I just wish it was one hole smaller. The cutter on this is excellent. The way that it is, it's I don't know what kind of style it is, but it's great. And also having the pliers at the end of them makes working with wire, twisting them together and stripping all in one tool kind of helps me keep my linemen's in my backpack while I'm dealing with some conductors. Also with the grips on these, it feels great both ways. This way feels good and this way feels good. So the lock on this feels good too. So a nub right here, locks right in. It's kind of nice and out of the way. I know a lot of pair of strippers are pretty annoying with their locks, so really recommend these. A terrible piece of equipment I have is this caliper. Garbage. This is really nice. This is an Empire square. I'm not quite sure what kind of square this is, because the triangles are also squares. It has a level. You can pull the ruler off and use it as a ruler. It's got the 45-degree flat edge. It also has an inscriber, I think they're called, right here for scraping stuff, drawing your lines. Always use this thing, marking up panels and stuff like that. Down here, some of the good stuff. Pair of crescent adjustable wrench, a crescent adjustable wrench, and also a Channel Lock brand wide ass crescent wrench. This wide ass is smaller, has a deeper jaw, and is probably at least 3/8 of an inch wider than this 10-inch, and this is like a 7-inch or something. So great. These are a beautiful pair of pliers. Knipex, German made, and the jaw always moves parallel. So it's pretty much like owning a pair of an adjustable wrench, but you can ratchet with them. You can put it on something, move, open the jaw up, slide it, grab again, and go down. Instead of an adjustable wrench going on, turn, pull off. You get the idea. I bought the set of 3. Fantastic tool. Lots of torque. When you grip down on this thing, when you turn, you're not opening the jaw. Your handle on the handle keeps the jaw closed. It's a little finicky, trying to get the perfect jaw width and everything sometimes, but worth it. I've owned both these sets are new. I just started using these. I have had the smaller size of this for a long time, but accidentally left it on a boat. So I went ahead and upgraded my Channel Lock brands to the Knipex as well, because these were excellent. I love that they're really quick, it seems like, to adjust to the next ring. I like the semicircle design. Also, it has more steps than the channel design where it comes in. This has like 9, I think, or even more than that, and like my channel only had like 5 different steps, and it was even a bigger pair of channels. So fantastic tool. This is Klein level. Never leveled anything on a boat ever, so kind of a useless item, but it's nice to keep in the tool bag. It's got a spot. Some really garbage hooks. They've been okay for me though. I think I need to upgrade to a snap-on pair or maybe another brand of hooks. Haven't looked into it too much, but these things are nice for getting out O-rings or maybe cleaning grooves. Paintbrush, sometimes brush something off, you need to apply some some grease or something. It's nice to have a paintbrush, nice little file, nothing too special. These have been pretty good for me. These are a pair of Milwaukee vice grips. They have rusted up on me over the years, but like I said, I work in the marine industry, so kind of expect it. These are good too because you can get some extra torque on the grasping aspect of it. You just put a screwdriver in there as designed and tighten it down some more. Also, some of my favorite tools are right here. As you can see, this is a T-handle. All of these nut drivers, which are hollow shaft, they're like, when you get them, they say like they're metric and standard size. So I'm not quite sure which ones they're closer to. I think they have to be metric, but anyhow, yeah, they slide out, rotate over, and you push them down, and the T-handles. Fantastic pair of nut drivers to have. Of course, got to keep some Allen keys. They're really my backup for my Wiha screwdriver, in case I need them, whatever. These are my favorite pair of gloves. I guess I'm gonna open them up here. I've had them for a long time. They were nice and cheap, I think. Maxi Flex. They're nice and thin, but my favorite part about them, besides being thin, this is the one with the dots, like the polyurethane dots, instead of being completely coated. It gives great grip, and it also lets your hands not get as hot as being completely coated. I keep these in my bag for when I just really need some gloves. They last. I think that pretty much is most of the hand tools. The only thing left is now to go to this side. So this set I really enjoy. I believe this is Gear Wrench brand. I like this for a couple of reasons. One, it's pretty much like having a little socket set. You can't go wrong. You know, a nice little socket set is good to have in your bag. Also, I've made a little custom. This is a 14 millimeter, which is the same as like a 9/16 for a 3/8 bolt, and also has a 1.25" extension inside of it. So nice extension. But the great thing about this also is that it's a close driver. So you can just grab a little bit, and when you need to get into a tight spot, barely can reach it, you can use this, and it ratchets really well, nice teeth and everything. I believe it is Gear Wrench branded. Let me read it. Yes, Gear Wrench. If you can't read it, I can. Gear Wrench. The only downsides of this is the case is pretty fragile. That's it. I also had the Husky version of this same set, if you will, but the Husky had less stuff. This is the best set I could find. And if you can find a better set than this, please let me know, because I love this set. It saves me so much. For a hammer, this hammer is probably the most multifunctional hammer you can get. If you notice, the claw is folded back. This is a locking, multi-positional hammer. So you can push it in, go to the next spot, push in, go to the next spot. So most of the time, I'm not using this for a hammer. This is a pry bar. And they also have two different weights. I think this is the, 18. I think they also have the 24. Now I know Craftsman, this is Craftsman brand, just sold out not too long ago. So if you can still get it, I don't know. But I really recommend this hammer for like a technician if you keep a hammer in your bag. I disclosed that this is the best torch. Now, not just a torch, but also it's a soldering iron and a heat gun. It also comes with a bunch of other attachments, but for me, it doesn't matter, like more heat gun attachments and stuff. So you can just unscrew the solder tip. It's got the heat gun attachment. You pull that off, and then it's open flame. The reason why this one's good, in my opinion, is the extra protection of the conductor, the sparking conductor that flows right here. And also, you probably can't see it, but in the tip in the bottom, the sparking conductor is really well placed in there. Like, it's not going to break. Most of the ones I've had, either it breaks in here or it breaks in there. And this stays in my backpack, and it endures all the abuse of me throwing that bag around. No issues. And it's the same, like lock, hit, stuff like that. Alright, and you have the flame adjustment right there. It's got the stand. Love that. The last thing about being a technician is the multimeter. Also, take note that second, it's the washcloth of the towel. So the towel, I'll throw on the floor, throw my bag on, throw all my equipment on. Looks real good. And the washcloth, I'll throw on on a counter, on a table, and I'll put my hand tools on while I'm working. I'm telling you, the appearance of that, it looks really good. So this is a Fluke. If I can get this thing open. As you can tell by the bag, obviously. This is a 376 FC. Now, if you're interested in having a nice amp clamp meter, definitely recommend this one, because this will Bluetooth to your phone. It has this Bluetooth button here. It's got an app on a phone. It'll show you charts, almost like an oscilloscope, of course with less hertz frequency, but it's good enough. If you need to measure the amperage of a motor or something, it's really good. The only thing that's downside of this meter, it does not have diode testing. You can still test with continuity, I think, but it does not have proper diode testing and telling you voltage drop. So big downside. It also has the iFlex, which is this right here, lets you get around some bigger conductors. Of course, you got to carry all your alligator clips, doing tests. Another big thing, if you want to test sensors, 4 to 20 milliamp, 0 to 5 volt, stuff like that, get you a potentiometer. This is a 5K. I used to carry around a 10K, but it got lost. I think a 5K just does just fine. Definitely, if you're testing sensors and stuff, bring a potentiometer. It is the way to go. I also carry around like little switches so that you can run some wires to a piece of equipment, and instead of having to be at where the real button is, you can simulate for yourself without having to do jumpers for everything, hitting the screw terminals, stuff like that. That's basically it. If you have any questions, let me know. Also, a little pro tip: when you have a bag zip ties, do not open it from the top, do not open it from the bottom. Please put a slit in the middle. That way all your zip ties don't come out and you can easily grab them. Also, with these zip ties, these are really nice because they are the lock anywhere. If I can get it to focus, they pretty much have this metal tab in there, which you can kind of see, and it will lock anywhere in any position. There is no clicking on this. Wherever it stops, it's locked in. They're expensive, but really great. Panduit brand. Thank you for watching the video. Super long video. If you're a tool connoisseur, I'm sure you appreciated seeing some of that stuff. See ya.